Hey guys, welcome to my next episode of the series CSCS chapter 1, right? So guys, I hope you must have been watching my episode series, I will say series episode by episode. If not, I'll strongly recommend to watch all the episodes as per their sequence, right? For better understanding. So going forward is today the new topic that we'll be covering is about muscle contraction process, right? So we've already discussed about sliding filament theory. So it's really simple, right? For the muscle to contract, what you need is a signal from the brain to the neuromuscular junction. So if it's only one nerve signal, right? So it's like one signal, right? For a quick contraction, it's like doing this, right? So that simply can be called as a twitch, right? So the muscle contraction can also be called as twitch, right? For one signal, it is called twitch. If the signal combines, right? For if you want to have a repeated contraction, it's like you just don't want to do this, you want to do this. For that, what you need is continuous signal, right? So what happens? Twitch is you do this, it relaxes, right? For it to stay continuous for a long, I'll say for a longer contraction, what you need is back to back signal, right? So it's like doing this, right? So now there's already one signal, and before the muscle relaxes, there's already another signal, right? So two signals attaching together, right? Causing something, and that something is called a summation, right? So if it's one signal to a muscle fiber, then it's a twitch. If it's back to back two signals or even more to the muscle fiber, where the signal starts combining to each other, causing something or causing a contraction, and that contraction can also be called as summation, right? It's like sum, adding two things, right? It's like you repeatedly tapping before your muscle relaxes, right? For a more powerful movement. This will help you produce more power, right? So now if you want to hold on to something strong, right? So you need repeated signals and repeated signals. So again, this signal has to combine together for that repeated, or I'll say continuous contraction to happen. And this combination of signal will result into what? A smooth and strong contraction, and that is basically repeated stimulation, right? And this can also be called as a tetanus, right? Where there's no time for relaxation between signals, right? Which will help you to hold on to something really strong, and that will cause constant muscle tension. So a simple analogy can be twitch is like one firecracker, boom. Summation is where you have few firecrackers, right, going off quickly, tap, tap, tap. And for tetanus is like a fire fountain, right, that stays continuous. So if you can look at here in this graph, what you see, this A represents a single twitch, right? And B, the resulting from a summation, which is like two signals combining to produce force, and that is through a process called as summation, right? So it's a combination of two twitches, right? C is where you see unfused tetanus, and D is where you see a fused tetanus, right? So this will help you produce strong and continuous contraction, right? So this was it with this episode, a very short episode for help for you to help so for you to understand what or how a contraction process is about, right? So guys, do like and subscribe to my channel and my complete series on NSCA CSCS chapter 1, and I'll hopefully go through the entire 23 chapters. Thank you for now.